months had gone by, and in LA here we had Kiss FM channel. It was hosted by Rick Dees. And I remember I was in the car, and it was April, and they said, hey, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we got the biggest tour in the world going out. We got the Jacksons, and we understand they're rehearsing in LA. And my heart dropped, and I went, oh, I guess they already got everybody they wanted, because Jermaine asked me to do it, but I hadn't heard from him. Mm-hmm. So I had just written it off. It was the second week of May. They'd already been rehearsing a few weeks. And it was a Saturday, and I get a phone call, and he goes, Roar, it's Jermaine. Jermaine, how are you? And he says, I'm in London. Listen, you're going to call my brother at rehearsal, and you're going to bring the Fairlight over there, and you're going to start rehearsing with the band. So I called up the rehearsal. It was a place called Leeds in North Hollywood. And it was where everybody rehearsed. We rehearsed there with Chic. Toto always was there. Most every major band rehearsed at Leeds. It was a great place. So I called up, and the road manager, Nelson Hayes, who I didn't know yet, answers in this really deep voice. I said, hi, and I'm like a kid. Hi, it's Rory. Jermaine called me and told me to call. Hello? Hold on. Who do you want? I said, I'm asked Randy. Hold on a minute. And so I'm put on hold for about 10 minutes. He goes, we already got the keyboard players. You know, thank you, though. Yeah, I cringed, too. I was like, oh, hell. So I left a message on Jermaine's voicemail at home. And I said, Jermaine, thank you so much. I just spoke to a gentleman and said that they already had your keyboard players. So Jermaine called me the next day and said, Rory, you're going to meet me there tomorrow night. You're doing the tour, or I'm not doing the tour. And I was like, what? And I mean, honest to God, those were the words. And I flipped out. I was like, it's going to be interesting. So I show up Monday night. As soon as I walked in the room, I met Randy right away. He was a sweetheart. Jonathan Moffat was on drums. He was really kind. David Williams, Greg Wright, who was the lead guitarist, he was a sweetheart. Jackie, Tito, they were wonderful. Michael wasn't there yet. Michael was with President Reagan doing the Beat It for the campaign against Say No to Drugs. So he wasn't at rehearsal yet. So as I walk in the room, I'm excited, and I look to my right where the other two keyboard players were, and they were looking at me like I was dead, like, we don't want you. And because they had been rehearsing for 3 weeks and had to go through all these auditions and everything, and Jermaine just walks me in. So I get the animosity, but it was not fun. And it would be these two great keyboard players. It was Patrick Leonard, who would go on to produce all Madonna's best work, True Blue, Like a Prayer, you know, Who's That Girl, Frozen. I mean, and his own band, Toy Matinee. I mean, Pat was, he's a monster. And Jay Wending, who was another phenomenal keyboard player, he had wrote in a New York Minute for Don Henley later on, but he was another like phenomenal piano player and keyboard player. So my role was to do all like the beginning of Beat It and to do all the voice sounds and do sound effects and play additional parts that they were doing the meat and potatoes, and I was doing all the like Heartbreak Hotel. I would do the mechanical sounds in it and whatever it was. I kind of was a utility guy. And State of Shock, I had to sample all the drum grooves and play them in sync with Jonathan, so they were perfectly done. And there was a lot going on to it. Hand claps from the album track and all this stuff, so we could do it live, so it didn't sound like it was, taped. Those guys could play amazingly, so my role was just to fit in and sew the fabric together, so to speak.
Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed my channel.